Mexico's Navy just captured drug lord Rafael Caro Quintero, convicted of murdering a United States anti-narcotics agent in 1985 in a law enforcement coup that came at a high cost when a helicopter used in the mission crashed, which killed 14 military personnel. How did they find the kingpin? Find out by watching this video. Welcome back to Disturbed World. Our videos are guaranteed to keep you coming back for amazing content. So, let's start with today's video. Mexican drug trafficker Rafael Caro Quintero, who is on the US Most Wanted list, has been arrested in the Sinaloa state, the Mexican Navy stated. Caro Quintero, who is accused of torturing, kidnapping and murdering a US drug enforcement agent in '85, was held in the town of Choix. Rafael Caro Quintero, the founder of the Guadalajara cartel, was caught during a raid carried out by the Mexican Naval Ministry in the San Simon municipality in Sinaloa, according to the government. Quintero was located by a specially trained dog called Max. Caro Quintero is from La Noria, Sinaloa, and is perhaps well known as one of the co-founders of the Guadalajara cartel. The cartel's heyday was in the 1970s and 1980s, when it primarily trafficked heroin, cocaine and marijuana from Mexico to the US. One of the group's hitmen was Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who founded the violent Sinaloa cartel, however is now imprisoned. Quintero at one point was sentenced to almost 40 years in prison over the kidnapping, torture and murder of a Drug Enforcement Administration agent Enrique Camarena in '85. Caro Quintero thought Camarena was to blame for a raid on the marijuana plantation. Then, in 2013, a Mexican appellate court ruling set Caro Quintero free after he had served 28 years. US authorities and Mexican prosecutors were outraged. The Supreme Court reversed the decision. But Caro Quintero had gone into hiding. US officials have since accused him of assuming a leadership role in the Sinaloa cartel after Kingpin El Chapo's downfall, while also running his organization in the same region. Mike Vigil, the DEA's former chief, stated, "It is probably one of the most important captures of the last 10 years in terms of importance to the DEA." And before Quintero's reported arrest, the US government offered a reward of up to $20 million for information leading to his capture. Another Mexican official said that Caro Quintero, who lost a final appeal against extradition to the United States, will be deported as quickly as possible. While the 69-year-old cartel leader is no longer considered a major player in international drug trafficking, the symbolic effect of his capture is likely to be significant on both sides of the border. Mexican security expert Alejandro Hoppe stated that the arrest pointed to significant cooperation between the two countries despite recent clashes over security. He said, "This type of capture is unthinkable without the participation of the DEA." Mexico's unwillingness to extradite Quintero to the US before his release from prison had always been a factor of tension between the two countries. Also, a US official said Washington was very keen to have him extradited. It said, "This will hopefully start to mend the frayed relationship between Mexico and the United States in terms of combating drug trafficking." Caro Quintero rose to co-founder of the Guadalajara cartel, one of Latin America's most powerful drug trafficking groups during the '80s, and had been among the most prized targets for US officials. After the operation, a helicopter of the Navy crashed in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, and killed 14 of the 15 people on board, and President Andrés Manuel López Obrador confirmed later that those who died in the accident were connected with the capture operations. López Obrador said on Twitter, "An investigation will be ordered to find out the cause of the Navy helicopter crash in which they were about to land in Los Mochis after fulfilling the mission of supporting who executed the arrest warrant against Quintero." According to Administrator Ann Milgram, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration confirmed Saturday it was involved in the operation. The U.S. has long thought of Caro Quintero's extradition over the killing of the agent Enrique Camarena, and he was also on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. He was also convicted of Camarena's murder in Mexico and spent almost 3 decades in prison before being released in the year 2013. At the time, the Mexican authorities said the court that set him free had ignored correct legal rules and sought to get him back into custody. However, by then, Quintero had disappeared. Mexico's Attorney General's office has confirmed in a statement released on Friday night it'll seek extradition of the cartel leader to the US. In the year 2018, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn announced an indictment that accused the drug kingpin of leading a faction of the Sinaloa cartel and also of being responsible for Camarena's death. The DEA, as well as the White House, did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Friday evening, and in his statement, Garland said the U.S. would be seeking Caro Quintero's immediate extradition to the U.S. so he can be tried for these crimes in the very justice system Special Agent Camarena had died defending. There is a very short video segment released by the Navy showing Rafael Caro Quintero, his face blurred, dressed in jeans, a soaking wet blue shirt and a baggy khaki jacket, held by both arms by men who are wearing camouflage uniforms and seen carrying assault rifles. After the Navy Black Hawk helicopter incident, the available information indicated it suffered an accident, the cause of which had not yet been determined, the report said. Then the arrest came days after Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador met Joe Biden at the White House. Caro Quintero spent around 28 years in jail for the brutal murder and torture of former United States DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, one of the most notorious killings in Mexico's bloody narco wars. Moreover, the events dramatized in the 2018 Netflix famous series Narcos Mexico led to a nadir in U.S.-Mexico cooperation in a 5-year decade war on drugs. Moreover, Caro Quintero has previously denied involvement in the killing of Camarena. He was then released in 2013 on a technicality by a Mexican judge, which embarrassed the previous government. According to U.S. officials, he quickly went underground. He returned to trafficking as part of the Sinaloa cartel, which put him on the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives list, as well as put a $20 million bounty on his head, a record for a drug trafficker. It's one of the most important captures of the last decade in terms of importance to the DEA, said Mike Vigil, the DEA's former chief of international operations. Moreover, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland stated that he would seek Caro Quintero's immediate extradition. He said in a statement, "There is no hiding place for anyone who tortures, captures and murders American law enforcement, and we are deeply grateful to Mexican authorities for their capture and arrest of Rafael Caro Quintero." And before the extradition, Caro Quintero will be held in Altiplano prison in the state of Mexico, said the Mexican prosecutors. The prison is quite famous as the one from which his old Sinaloa cartel associate Joaquin El Chapo Guzman escaped in the year 2015. While the cartel leader Caro Quintero is no longer considered a major player in international drug trafficking, the symbolic impact of his capture is significant. The arrest points to significant cooperation between the United States and Mexico, despite the recent issues over security, said Mexican security expert Alejandro Hoppe. This type of capture is unthinkable without the participation of the DEA, stated Hoppe. Moreover, Mexico's unwillingness to extradite Caro Quintero to the United States before his release from jail had been a source of tension between the two countries. Also, a U.S. official said Washington was very eager to have him extradited. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's episode and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always up to date with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.